I like these guys. They are funny guys.
New for 2018, this is Around Midnight. I'm Joe Carbonetta. I've got Chevelle Devine, Todd Fluker. We are the local boys. And welcome to the show. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
All right. Let's get
bad.
this done.
We are in the new Mixified Media Solutions Studio A. And a fantastic studio it is. And that reminds me that if you've got production needs, Mixified Media Solutions has the solution. You can check them out at Mixified.com. That's MIXAFIED.com. Or call them at 951-356-6882. That's 951-356-6882. Mixified Media Solutions. So, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year!
It is the new year.
Yeah, what'd you guys do?
I would say, hey, are you used to like writing 2018 on your checks yet? But who the F is writing a check?
I have written 2018 once
Why?
this year. I was signing in on something.
Signing in on something? And
No,
you had
I was
to put
signing a contract. It was a release waiver. That's what it was.
Oh.
So I had to date it. So that's the first and last time I've signed 2018 this year.
Yeah. Who writes anything anymore? I guess everything's typed, and it autocorrects and auto timestamps, and like we keep saying, everything's being taken away from your brain from actually having to work for itself.
Yeah, that's true. I
was listening to something that actually kind of touches on that. It was a podcast, and it was a psychologist. He was talking about how he knows this guy who's a native in Canada.
He knows a guy?
Yeah, and he's illiterate, but he remembers everything because that's what he has to do to retain information.
Because he
can't
can't
just
read
go
it.
read it. He grew up, in the remote wilderness and whatnot, and he actually is a carver. He carves stuff and whatnot. But he says that the way that he thinks is very different from the way other people think because he retains so much information. It's not always just, because he has to be able to call it to the front of his mind.
Have you seen those new speculative reports that are suggesting that perhaps President Trump is actually not very good at reading?
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah, you got to look into that. It comes on the heels of that new book that's coming out that the White House is actually trying. They've sent a cease and desist letter, which caused the publishing company to actually move up the release date on the book instead. It's like, yeah, that's going to happen. Remember that little thing called freedom of speech and freedom of the press?
We're just going to beat
That
him
little
to the
thing that
punch.
got you elected?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I read some meme
There's an
about
amendment about that, isn't there?
Yes.
I think it's the first one.
Yeah, I think I saw a bunch of memes talking about people like, oh, here's a book. We'll have somebody read it to you. Yada, yada, yada.
So, going back to New Year's, what did you guys do for New Year's?
Oh, wait, before we get too far away from that thing, I think I saw that documentary you were just talking about the guy who had the memory thing. I think I saw that documentary. I think it was called Drumline. Wasn't that with Nick Cannon?
No.
Because he couldn't read music. He just memorized the drum beats when somebody played it. Come on. You remember that movie?
Oh,
No.
my head hurts.
No.
Nick Cannon.
I'm shocked that you've seen that movie. And a little disappointed.
Somebody was talking about The Last Dragon the other day. And they're
Like the original one?
Yeah, the original. There isn't another one.
There is actually more than one movie called The Last Dragon. But you're talking about Show Nuff.
Show Nuff? Yeah, they were talking about rebooting it, and I think they said that something about Sam Jackson playing Show Nuff.
I can see that.
Oh my god, I would watch that all day. But yeah, there was a bunch of white people like, I've never seen this yet movie.
I would be one of them. I'm one of those white people. I've never seen this movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
That is a classic.
No.
That's going to be your New Year's
gosh.
resolution
You
to
gotta
watch
watch
some
that
good
movie.
movies.
You've got to watch that movie.
All right.
Back
what
to
did
New
you guys
Year's
do? Yeah, what'd
resolutions.
you guys do for New Year's?
I mostly carried my kid around on my shoulders all freaking day.
Why?
Because
You went
he's
to the
too lazy
parade?
to walk.
You went to the parade?
Yeah, and it's not even a long walk, but
The world famous
oh my
parade?
gosh. Yeah, that world famous.
I went to that parade
Rose
too.
Parade.
And I have to say that the Rose Parade security people have made President Trump's border wall look like a genius security maneuver by comparison to them. These guys figured out how to make the TSA look smart.
Wow. That's
What
wow.
could they
That's kind
possibly
of harsh,
do?
bro.
I watched the parade. I was there early in the morning. I was out on Orange Grove Boulevard in the grandstands. Had to pass through a security checkpoint before I could get in there, okay? Now, I'm walking in there with a cup of coffee and a fully loaded backpack. Get up to the front, and I fully expect that they're going to look through my bag. That's what I'm expecting. I offer them the bag. They kind of unzip it, and they go, I'm not going to. And they literally said, I'm not going to go through that whole bag. And they zipped it back up and handed it to me. But they said, but you're going to have to leave your coffee cup here. I was like, huh? What? I brought coffee from home.
It was like a commuter mug.
Hey, and I'm like, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is like the TSA. They don't want the liquids. I said, because it was a nice stainless steel coffee mug, okay? I just bought this a couple weeks ago, by the way. Double wall, insulated, really nice job. I said, I'll pour the coffee out. Oh, no, it's the cup. And by the way, there are people walking through with plastic cups. That's not a problem. But mine is metal. And then it said, but you can leave it over there. And I look over on the sidewalk by a fence, and they have a mountain of these coffee cups already. And I'm like, I can't take the coffee cup in because, and they said, it's a stainless steel cup, and you might throw it at somebody, and we don't want somebody to get hurt.
You might chuck it at the Rose Queen.
And I'm thinking to myself, I could be walking in with a backpack full of hand grenades. You guys don't want to look through my bag, but you want my coffee cup because I might throw that at somebody? Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, did you have a backpack full of
No, of course
hand
I did
grenades?
not, but I'm simply
you're
saying.
out here. You're out here helping all the terrorists now, man.
I'm simply saying,
I should bring a coffee cup to distract them.
So then they're like, you can leave the coffee cup there.
There's a hand grenade in the
But
coffee cup.
we can't guarantee that somebody's not going to steal it. All right, half hour later, I had to come back down because I had somebody else's tickets, and also, and I was going to give them their tickets when they got to the security checkpoint. All the coffee cups are now gone because they're like, maintenance came through and they said that was a security risk because there was too much metal in one place, so they threw all the coffee cups away.
Too much metal?
That's
What does
literally
that
what
even
they said.
mean?
I don't know. Again, I walked in. They didn't search my person. I was wearing a thick jacket. I could have had handguns. I could have had knives. I could have had all kinds of stuff on. They're worried about my coffee cup.
Wow.
This is the Rose Parade, people.
I feel safe.
Yeah, seriously.
I do. I think that you can't really knock them. They were doing their job. And all I'm saying is, I don't want to be sitting in the stands and get beaned by a coffee mug.
You know what it is?
Makes
it was a
sense.
false sense
Unless
of security.
it's plastic. You can hit me with a plastic one all day long.
They were probably like, we don't need to check their bags or anything because we got the B-2B flying overhead with a fighter escort. Yeah, that's okay. That's
that
not
was
going to be
pretty
any
epic,
problem,
though. That was pretty epic.
That would do the job.
I sure. Yeah, for the 2 seconds that they were over the top of that parade and then they were, probably 500 miles away.
Come on, they could scramble them back there in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even see him coming.
All for my metallic coffee mug. So thanks, Pasadena. Thanks for trashing my coffee mug. I appreciate it.
You're gonna get a.
It's
We
really
were all
interesting.
safer for that. Let me tell you.
That parade is like a major. It's the event in the city in Pasadena. It's the defining moment for the city, and like weeks before they have
Wait,
press.
that isn't the Doodah parade?
No, that's the.
That was pretty good.
That's
too.
the defining parade for people in the city who actually care about things in the city.
I think it's more for people that are generally freaks.
Yeah, that's true.
What did he say?
But like they have press conferences, like they have they bring in every law enforcement agency within like a 50-mile radius to help secure the parade route. The Homeland Security has an office on site. It's insane, all of that, and then they're gonna just take out your coffee. They have drones flying overhead.
I'm telling you, I came with my backpack. I pulled it off my back and walked up to the security desk with the bag in hand, expecting they were going to go through it with a fine.
Wow.
And they were like, they looked in the top of it, and I'm not going to go through all that. And they zipped it back up. But they said, but you can't take the coffee mug in.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I still don't want to get hit in the head by a coffee mug.
So Todd, what did you do for New Year's?
Pretty much just hung out. Yeah, I went down to San Diego to hang out with a friend, and we had a really, chill kind of New Year's Eve. We all got kids now, so we were all realizing, like, as soon as we had dinner kind of early, and then all the adults were like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. I'm almost ready for bed. And everybody went and took a disco nap. And
What is a disco nap?
it's just a quick cat nap.
Oh, okay. All right. I've never
It's a
heard
nap.
of that before, a
I think-
disco nap.
I think my British wife has got me into saying stuff like that. I think
Disco naps and hand grenades.
they would take a nap before you go hit the disco.
That's going to be the title of that episode.
Disco
Disco naps and hand grenades.
Yeah, and so we made it to midnight. We watched a little bit of Ryan Seacrest on TV.
On purpose?
Yeah.
I don't know why the girls really wanted to see Ryan Seacrest. And-
well, you know
and
what?
I think they were more interested to see whatever Mariah Carey was going to do. If
I-
she was going to mess things up royal
Oh,
again.
yeah. Mariah Carey, who was roughing it because she didn't have her tea.
She never hot tea.
But you know what? I'm no fan of Ryan Seacrest, but I don't mean to slam Steve Harvey, but Ryan Seacrest was more interesting than Steve Harvey. Now that's by degrees, and I'm not saying that I, was really happy to see Ryan Seacrest, but Steve Harvey was not interesting at all.
So you were
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm
You
sorry,
flipped- You flipped back and forth. You saw a little bit of both.
well, actually, what it was that Steve Harvey was on before Ryan Seacrest, so
Ah.
I ended up watching some of the Steve Harvey thing.
And they're both in
until-
New York, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's in New
So
York.
they're both at Times
And then they
Square?
had the big Neil Diamond sing along, and that kind of thing. And then,
No,
yeah.
that explains why I wasn't watching.
What do you got against Neil Diamond now?
I got nothing against him. He's just not on my radar.
Is
man.
it too close to the word needle? So it's needle. I
Wow.
hate both of those.
Watch your arm.
Jeez.
Pop that back in the socket.
Reaching, man, reaching. Got to do some calisthenics before you pull a muscle.
I'm just-
night.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything else. Sorry, guys. That's the best I could do. That's such short notice.
Gotta have a Neil. I was gonna say Neil deGrasse Tyson for some reason. Neil Diamond bit.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh man, I don't even have a point of reference. I can't even make something funny out of that.
Let's just talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's much more interesting and current.
Indeed.
He's a pretty cool guy, right?
I always wondered who it is that comes up with these acts for these, because you have the super safe act for things like the Super Bowl, hockey halftime shows, New Year's Eve things, so that you and your grandma can sing the same song, I guess. Oh, you and your grandma. I mean, my grandma's not here. No damn Neil Diamond.
I actually don't have any grandmothers left either. So.
Me either.
Well, yeah. What are you talking about? Like the Super Bowl, they have Justin Timberlake singing.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, that's when he's not taking off somebody's
Super
clothes,
safe.
right?
They're finally letting him back in
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
after
Super
a,
safe.
Yeah, 10-year hiatus.
The guy
after-
did a song for Trolls. He is safe.
Yeah.
He's very
But come
safe.
on, is anybody's grandmother gonna know a Justin Timberlake song?
Any grandmother that took her kid to see Trolls, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh?
That was a catchy track.
Yeah, it was.
Catchy track.
I mean, that and You're Welcome.
Now that's a catchy track. Thanks for filling our head with that one. That's an earworm that's not going away anytime soon.
So you're saying The Rock is gonna next year's?
He's going to be the MC.
I would watch that,
They'll
by the
replace
way.
Steve Harvey with The Rock.
I would really watch that. Anyway, we got
Do
to
you
get on out of
smell
here.
the New Year's cooking?
This has been Around Midnight. This has been Mixified Media Solutions Around Midnight with the local boys. I'm Joe Carbonetta. You got Chevelle Devine, Todd Fluker. You can tweet us at Joe Carbonetta and at Chevelle Devine and at Todd Fluker, or check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Remember, if you've got video, if you got a video project,
Multimedia needs.
there you go. If you've got multimedia needs, Mixified got your solution. You can check them out at Mixified.com. That's MIXAFIED. Or give us a call, 951-356-6882. What are you doing?
I'm pointing. Is it working?
I don't think
No,
so.
because you're behind everything. Even I would have to come out here.
By the way, if you go to the Mixified website, you can also find a link to us at Around Midnight.
Later.
For all the local boys and for everyone at Mixified Media Solutions, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.